This is a train entering the north end of Horseshoe Curve in Pennsylvania. My wife and I stopped there on our way to Chicago in February 2024. It was the third time we'd stopped there on one of our road trips. We'll watch this extremely long train as it makes its way from one end of the curve to the other. But meanwhile, I'm going to split my screen and share some other photos and video clips that I took on this and a few other trips to the curve. That's me recording the video we're watching now. When you arrive at the curve, you pass through a visitor's center and a small museum. It gives you some information about the curve, and you can watch a video about the curve's creation. We learned that in 1834, Pennsylvania built the Allegheny Portage Railroad to connect Pittsburgh to Philadelphia. It required a combination of railroads, canals, and inclined planes to move goods between those cities. In 1847, the Pennsylvania Railroad was incorporated to replace the Portage Railroad. The problem was this valley just west of Altoona. They could have built a trestle across the valley between these two mountains, but it would have been a 4% grade, much too steep for a railroad. The valley was split into two ravines by a mountain, and the engineers decided they could come up one side of the valley, do this earth fill across Kittatanning Run to the mountain in the center, do this earth fill across Glen White Run to the other side of the valley, and go back up the far side of the valley, creating a huge horseshoe shape that's almost half a mile long. By doing that, they were able to keep the grade to less than 1.5%. The whole thing was done without heavy equipment. It took about 400 laborers, mostly Irish immigrants, about 4 years to build it, and it opened in 1854. It was a marvel of engineering at the time, and still is. The front locomotives have reached the south end of the curve, but we'll soon see that the rear of the train is still coming around the north end. The curve was originally only 2 tracks, but widened to 3 in the late 1800s and to 4 in 1900. In 1980, Conrail removed one of the 4 tracks to save maintenance. My wife got a kick out of this sign. On one of our earlier trips, we'd seen 2 trains pass each other going in opposite directions, and 2 trains running parallel in the same direction. It's a good thing the curve still has 3 tracks. Back in 2003, my wife and I took an Amtrak train from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh and rode through the curve. Here are a few photos I took from the train, both going out and coming back again. This GP9 from 1955 is on permanent display at the Curve. It replaced K4 number 1361, which I hope will eventually be restored. I'd love to see a K4 in operation. As the rear of the first train was passing by us, we could hear another train coming from the north into the Curve. There's the first train about to disappear behind the mountain as the second one, which seemed to be moving faster, was coming up from behind. Like the first train, the second train was also longer than the whole Curve.